And we are live. Welcome to the NBA strategy early morning show thing that I still haven't officially named. I'm Josh Engleman. It's Monday, November 17th. We've got a 7-game DraftKings slate, 8 games to talk about overall. Coming off the weekend, coming off another Millie win for Stokastic subs. Another Stokastic avatar at the top of the Millie. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. So good morning, everybody. We're going to talk some basketball. Take our time, walk through this slate, see where we end up. Set ourselves up for the rest of the day because I'm here. You've got an NFL strategy show for Monday Night Football coming up at 10. You've got Live Before Lock later tonight at 6. You've got NFL Live Before Lock later tonight. There might be a hockey show today. I don't know for sure. Tons going on. Crispy, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Let's have some fun today. Let's move shit around. There we go. Cold there, Steven? It's nice here today. I mean, colder than I want it to be, but not as cold as it's been as of late. Not now. Not now. I updated my phone before this started, so I'm clicking myself back into it. What's the weather right now? It's 48 for me right now, which does suck. But high is 65. I can handle that. Just got to stay inside for the morning. Not the worst thing in the world. Alrighty, let's dive in. Let's work through each one of these teams, get ourselves prepped for the day. And then we'll move on. Sounds fun. Here we go. First one up, Milwaukee Bucks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Bucks last played on Saturday. Got beat up pretty good by the Lakers. Today, 6.5 point underdogs, 236 total. This is in Cleveland. Milwaukee does not play again until Thursday. And if they play again, they don't play again until Thursday. Well, that means they aren't playing a Friday NBA Cup game because I don't think any NBA Cup games are second half of back-to-backs. Short week for the Bucks. On the Cleveland side, they beat Memphis on Saturday by 8. They play Wednesday against Houston at home. Big game. Homestand right now for Cleveland. Expected starting lineup: Ryan Rollins, AJ Green, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, Miles Turner. Injury news here is just still KPJ and Taurean Prince. I don't think there's a lot here to say for Milwaukee. Like, this is kind of just them now. Just moving some positions around mostly, but they don't really have much of a choice. They don't have much depth. Once you get through those starters and you get through Bobby Portis, Gary Trent, Cole Anthony, and Amir Coffey, like, you're just done. They aren't playing anybody else. This just kind of has to be what it is. Prince has been out for 6 games now. That's just kind of going to be what we got. I guess I got to pull Trent's minutes down now that he's not starting. They have been playing Gary Harris more, which is a thing that a team is doing. Look, I'm a Gary Harris guy, but not that big of a Gary Harris guy. So let's get Gary Harris some sort of chunk of playing time. in lieu of Amir Coffey. Not that I think that helps anybody do anything. Let's move Gary Harris to the rotation. We move Amir Coffey to the fringe. I don't think there's a ton of takeaways for this one. We'll worry about rates later. Let's look at Cleveland. Injury-wise, no Garland. Still no Strus. Still no Jalen Tyson. That's a pretty extended concussion absence, which isn't great. Expected starting lineup: Mitchell, Merrill, Hunter, Mobley, Allen. Not a lot of tricky stuff going on for this one. I mean, Mitchell's going to be the dude, I think. Why is Hunter 4,500? Yeah, we'll get to that. You know, something like 34 minutes for Donovan Mitchell makes some sense. Honestly, it should probably be 35. Larry Nance hasn't been playing in the last two, which is super weird. 5 minutes and 7 minutes in the last two. It's kind of weird. We know what Lonzo does. For the most part, we know what Craig Porter does. They've been playing Naquan Tomlin a bit more. He's gotten 18, 22, and 18 over the last three. Obviously, Dean Wade's just kind of always out there. Jared Allen just playing like extra special low minutes, which is weird. You know, realistically, I should probably bump Mobley to 35. Happy with the rest of this. Let's look at this from a slate perspective. Now, I haven't touched any rates or anything, and I don't think that's super important for right now. But if we look at it, we've got this stupid DeAndre Hunter is $4,500 problem. Coach Chris just mentioned it in chat. I don't get it. I don't know how that happens. I mean, let me pull up DraftKings quickly. I'll tell you what. We have all these cameras and thumbprint readers and whatever. Can my stuff just know that when I go to DraftKings, I want to be logged in? In what universe do I not want to be logged in? That's a lot. I should probably register too while I'm here, but that's besides the point. All right, DeAndre Hunter. He was 6,700 2 days ago. And obviously, like, he should be. We're talking about a guy that starts and plays like 28 to 30 minutes every night. He was 6,700, 6,500, 6,700, 6,500, 6,500. Those are his last five prices. He's 4,500 today and nothing's changed. I mean, that's dumb. That's dumb. So obviously he's going to be probably the most popular guy all day, if not like something in that neighborhood. And there's no way for it to stop or not happen. I like Evan Mobley, but I'm probably a little high on him right now. And then obviously, anytime you want to play Giannis Antetokounmpo, you can. I just don't think this is the type of game. I mean, the total's great. 236 here. It's as low as 220 in the Clippers-Philly game. Dallas, Minnesota, and OKC Pels are all in the 220s. Knicks, Heat is in the 240s. Charlotte, Toronto, high 230s, same as this one. So we do have... This is a more interesting scoring environment. But for the most part, like, we don't have any interesting team news right now. I think Evan Mobley at 7,800 is pretty interesting at that price. DeAndre Hunter at 4,500 on DraftKings is just next level stupid. That is a unquestionably... I mean, I read him off. He's like $1,800 underpriced, $2,000 underpriced. You could make a case, like, if he were overpriced today, he'd be $7K. He's like 2K underpriced. Got it. It's rarely fun to like lock that in at 7 o'clock on the dot. But at least he's a small forward. Because typically this ends up being like point guard or center and you hate it. Because then it's just like there are other dudes, but this is just extra not correct. Let's take a look at the next one. Indiana at Detroit. Pacers are 9.5 point dogs, 230 total. Not going to have a ton to say for this one because we need a boatload of news. Pacers lost to the Raptors on Saturday by 18. They play the Hornets at home on Wednesday. The Pistons didn't play all weekend. They beat Philly on Friday in the NBA Cup. And now they've got the front end of a back-to-back. Today at home, tomorrow in Atlanta. Cade Cunningham is questionable. He's missed the last two. Asar Thompson is questionable. He's missed the last three. Isaiah Stewart played on Friday. He had missed the previous 3.5. Duren has missed the last two, but he is probable for today. So he's just already in. Jaden Ivey still out. Marcus Sasser still out. Tobias Harris is out. So realistically, this feels like a spot where Cade is just back, especially having Saturday and Sunday just off. And if Cade is back, I don't know on Asar. I'm going to assume he is also back. These are all, it was an ankle sprain for Asar. So if all these guys are back, it's just like, for the most part, standard issue Detroit. I think we end the Danish Jenkins experience. He gets minimal run, if any. Same for Paul Reed. And then it's mostly just Karis LeVert, Ron Holland, Javonte Green off the bench. That's where I'm at for right now. It's not great for the Pacers either. So obviously, maybe not obviously. Aaron Nesmith is out. He missed the last one as well. MCL sprain. Furphy out. He's been out. Toppin out. He's out for months. Obviously, Halliburton is out. Benedict Matherin's questionable. He's been out for ages now. He's missed at least the last 10 because I have that on the screen. But whether or not Benedict Mathurin plays will move this stuff around. Assuming he's back and playing, something like 28 minutes. And then you're getting Nembhard, Siakam, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and Tony Bradley in the starting lineup. Assuming Mathurin is back. If that's the case, Jarris Walker to the bench, that'll limit his minutes a bit. They're still running out Isaiah Jackson and Jay Huff. McConnell's here. You would expect his minutes to, at least be around 16 every night. And then Ben Shepherd just kind of exists. After that, that's just kind of the Pacers rotation. And it's really just not that interesting of a game. Tony Bradley, I guess, is worth a conversation. He doesn't play enough because it's really just 20 minutes. Now, in theory, he can get more. But 3,300 center only, decent value. Duren 8K, I think, is probably the most interesting thing in this game. Great spot against the Pacers. I don't think Jalen Duren cares about Tony Bradley, Isaiah Jackson, or Jay Huff. So in this game, I have my eye on at least a little bit of Bradley value. Duren for sure. And then, obviously, if you ever want to play Cade, he's 11K. I don't really have anything else interesting in this game. Again, it locks at 7. I don't find that to be particularly appealing. If Detroit's getting everybody back, that's not all that helpful. And if Mathurin is back, that really just takes a bite out of the rest of the Pacers. It's a largely unappealing basketball game from a DFS perspective. Avery says, "You're getting closer, Josh. We're almost back at the process hours." That'll never happen. There's no chance I'm ever going to go live at 6:30 again. That's silly. That's not necessary. This is as close as we're going to get. All right, speaking of uninteresting early games, the LA Clippers are on the second half of a back-to-back. They were in Boston last night. They lost. They are in Philly today. Now, Clippers are 5.5-point dogs. I haven't looked at this game yet. 220 total. And then they have 2 days off. They don't play again until Thursday. So I guess they are also not a part of the NBA Cup on Friday. For Philly, they haven't played since the Pistons on Friday. Lost. They got the Clippers today. They've got the Raptors on Wednesday. So let's clear this information out and start building up because we got a lot going on here. Kelly Oubre has a knee sprain. He is going to be out for a bit. And it's possible that Paul George plays today. Get excited, folks. B-ball Paul George, that is. He should take the name back now that Paul Reed's not here. All right, let's get Dom Barlow into the starting lineup. Let's get Watford out of there. And as you're very clearly aware, Joel Embiid not available for this one. Shock. All right, let's project this rotation out. Unsurprisingly, Tyrese Maxey gets 40 minutes because this dude plays 40 minutes when it matters. VJ Edgecombe seems to sit right around the 36 mark. I'll get to Paul George in a sec. Dom Barlow, first game back on Friday, played 29 minutes off the bench. That's more than I was expecting, I gotta be honest. I'm gonna go 26 for right now, and we'll inspect that a little bit later. 3 starts straight for Drummond, 35, 33, 36. Hard to say anything other than 33. And, it could be more, but I don't trust that. So now let's fill out the rest of this team here. So Watford started, barely got anything. I assume he's just going to be playing something similar to bench rotation. Grimes just gets 30. What is Paul George realistically going to play today if he starts? I'm just going to go to 28. That feels high, and it probably is. It likely doesn't matter. I also have a sneeze queued up right now. It's pretty annoying. I can feel it right here in this big old beak of me. Oh, here we go. Got it. That was very necessary. All right, so I have 33 minutes left, and I'd like to get those to Jabari Walker, Justin Edwards, and then maybe a little bit to Jared McCain. So 10 to Walker, 18 to Edwards, and I'm just going to do 5 to McCain. I think that's all that I can do. All right, I'm going to take Paul George down to 26 minutes and make that McCain 7. Then let me DNP these guys. Infringe McCain. Let's see. Neutral offense Philly, slightly better than neutral defense Philly. That's kind of fun. They're going to be more interesting defensively than I probably would have expected. I guess Drummond is just going to close. All right. Clippers is just as bad. Let's move this stuff around. Let's get Derek Jones out of the starting lineup. Let's get Bogey into it. Are they on a back-to-back? Oh, yeah. They're on the Celtics back-to-back. All right. So expected starting lineup today of Harden, Dunn, Bogdanovich, Collins, Zubats. I'm going to zero out those minutes. Going to assume we're good here. So let's look at the rotations for the Clips. 38 minutes for James Harden just seems to be what happens when it's competitive. Is McCain back from the G League? Yeah, he's with the team today. I'm guessing the Oubre injury probably has a little bit to do with it. I still don't think McCain's going to be playing all that much, which I'm sure will come as a shock to the 4-week scouters from last year. All right, Chris Dunn has been back in the starting lineup now for about 7 games. You know, realistically, he's going to get 30 in a competitive game. He just doesn't have to close. I'm going to go 28. Bogey played 35 and 37 over the last 2. Now, there's a 0% chance I'm going to do that, but 30's feeling about right. Oh, Zach Justice, how great would it be? All right, John Collins, 4 straight starts. I think something like 29 makes sense. And then, 33, 34 for Zoo. I don't know why they've been playing Kobe Sanders or who or what that is, but it has been happening. Let's get Batum for 21. Let's get Kobe Sanders for 18. We've got 43 remaining. That should be a pretty clean split here between Brook Lopez. I mean, Derek Jones Jr. is not going to play 11 minutes. Perfect. We're in. Jordan Miller to the fringe. Kobe Brown to the DNP. Cam Christie to the DNP. Kobe Sanders to the rotation. That all looks pretty darn good. Bogey to small forward. Yeah, we're looking good there. What is that positional breakdown? Okay, that works. Anything interesting? I mean, I've got the Clippers as a much, much, much closer team than this current line. So I wonder if we're going to get any weird injury news coming out of this. Kind of feels like we are. So we've got Maxi's 10-5. Harden is 9,900. Paul George is 7,400. So whatever we think Paul George is going to play pretty much doesn't matter. $7,300 Ivica Zubac is pretty appealing to me in a matchup against Andre Drummond. If Zoo's starting to feel himself, that'd be great. I think Drummond is still very viable at 5,900. $4,100 Bogdan Bogdanovic, however, is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Assuming he is starting and getting this sort of real minutes, and that's not necessarily going to happen. We got to remember, this is not exactly a guy that's going to thrive in a back-to-back scenario. So we need more info, obviously, from the Clippers since they're on the back-to-back, but Bogdanovic is either going to look like an exceptional value play or a wildly overowned value play or a guy that doesn't play at all today. We need a lot more information. I'm very interested in the centers here. I want to see the ownership on Drummond and Zoo. Brandon, I was a big believer in the Clippers coming into this year, man. I'm surprised at how they've looked. I mean, honestly, a lot of it's Zoo. He just hasn't been as dominant defensively, and that's why they were actually good last year. James Harden stole his shit, but Ivica Zubac is the best player on this team, and the fact that he hasn't been great is probably why the Clippers haven't been great. Knicks Heat. We just saw this one on Friday in the NBA Cup. Knicks beat them by 8. Now, in Miami, Knicks are 1.5 point dogs. OG Anunoby is out for this one. By the way, the Knicks also play Dallas on Wednesday. So let's go ahead and get OG Anunoby out of this bad boy and get Jordan Clarkson into the starting lineup. Jalen Brunson also out for this one. So no Brunson, no Anunoby. Expected starting lineup. A Q tag, a questionable tag on Miles McBride, Jordan Clarkson, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson. Would not be surprised at all to see Landry Shamet start in Clarkson's place, but I could see why they want a bit of creation instead. All right, let's project the minutes here for the Knicks. Miles McBride got the start last time out with no Brunson. He played 30. I'm going to go 29 here. That seems to be in and around where he typically is, where he starts. We got 33 out of Jordan Clarkson. I'm going to come back to him in a second and get Bridges, who now with no Anunoby, I mean, this feels like the 36 of all 36s, if not more. Towns feels pretty comfortable at 35. And then I think we could just continue to maintain Mitchell Robinson in that like 17 or 18 range. Josh Hart got 34 off the bench. Now, again, no Anunoby. I would be shocked to project Josh Hart for much less. How does this team just be the same team? Oh, Brunson's out and Anunoby gets hurt. Let's just play 7 dudes and not give a shit. Is Tibbs still there and we don't know it? Go 28 to Shamet. Like, that's fucking 65 more minutes. Where the hell are they supposed to come from? Like, I can't project Josh Hart and Landry Shamet for 30 minutes off the bench. I mean, realistically, I guess Miles McBride and Jordan Clarkson are both at 30. And that's still 34 more minutes. Clarkson played 3 more last time out. Bridges played 6. Towns played 3. Hart played 5. Shamet played 9. I mean, Yabu just has to play a little bit more now. But even that, I still have 24 minutes to hand out. None of those guys played their last game. I don't know how to manage that. I mean, I guess realistically, I've got to give Josh Hart 30. I can't give Landry Shamet more than 28, which is 23 unprojected minutes. And none of these guys are in the rotation. I mean, realistically, Tyler Kolek has to play. All right, who can I give 11 minutes to? Will Towns play more minutes at center? No. Why? Mitchell Robinson's playing. Why would he do that? Who the hell else is going to play? They don't play any of these guys. I guess realistically, Yabu can get 2 more. Who can I give 9 minutes to? I guess I'm just going to give 3 minutes to Hukporti, Diawara, and Dadier. This is horrific. I don't want to know if we've got Knicks value today. I assume that we do, and I assume that I don't like it. I just hope it's Towns. Would make my life a lot easier. Let's look at Miami, because I assume they're a disaster too. Actually not. So still no Bam. That's not too bad. That could be worse. I thought they were going to have other dumb stuff going on, but they don't. All right, Davion Mitchell. That's a 34 if I ever saw one. Norm Powell. Pell Larson. That dude just plays 26 minutes without question. Wiggs going to be 34. And then Ware just bounces back and forth between shit and 30. 28 makes the most sense to me. All right, Drew Smith gets his. Jaquez gets his. Jovic continues to be a thorn. Fontecchio gets 17. 3 to Kashad Johnson. That was as easy as it could possibly be. Heat Knicks is very simple. And the game looks great. We've got Towns at 9,500. I see no reason why we don't want to get to that. It's just a really, really good matchup for Karl Anthony Towns against Miami right now. Especially the way Miami's playing. I probably like Norm Powell more than most at 7,300. I'm going to have a real tough time clicking Mikal Bridges at 7,200, but it's the type of guy I might do a bit of a deep dive on later. What I want to do is get through every team, and then we can kind of like look at some individual spots that need some closer looks. I mean, Ware for 6K is just interesting. If he's out there and he gets to north of 30 minutes, it's not crazy at all for him to pay off a 6K price tag. Miles McBride is still really good value at 4,300. I mean, Jordan Clarkson's $900 more expensive than Miles McBride with the exact same positionality. Now, Clarkson's going to project slightly better, but pretty clearly project or prefer McBride. For me, this game is McBride, Ware, Towns, and Clarkson. And then I like any random one of Mitchell, Larson, Powell, or Wiggins. Or Jaquez to a degree. I don't know what to do with the rest of the Knicks, though. And we want to keep an eye on Landry Shamet on the off chance he starts. Charlotte and Toronto. Hornets lost to OKC on Saturday. They've got Toronto today. They're 8.5-point dogs, 238 total. Hornets have the Pacers on Wednesday. Raptors beat the Pacers on Saturday. They've got the Sixers on Wednesday. Best I could tell, Raptors are going to be mostly normal. Akbaji questionable. Ooh, AJ Lawson back. Not that it matters, but just saying. Akbaji questionable, Jamison Battle questionable. The rest of this all looks normal. So I'm just going to clear these guys pretty quickly and zip through this rotation. What is that message? Does that message tell me if I have a hockey game or a hockey show today? Sure don't. Sure don't. All right, quickly. I mean, 32 seems correct. RJ Barrett. 29, 28, and 27 last three, but I mean, that's got to be 31. BI certainly getting 33. Barnes gets 33. Jake Puddle gets 28. Colin Murray Boyles gets 19. Mamu gets 19. I mean, this is just setting itself. 19 for Grady Dick. 15 Jacoby Walter. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not setting itself the way that I wanted to. 19 Shed. That gets me 7 Walter. 18, 9. But realistically, I got to get one of these guys out for Akbaji. I guess I don't really. He wasn't really much of the rotation. All right, we got a giant stack of Raptors DNPs. Now we get to project the always fun Charlotte Hornets team. I'm joking. They're not fun. I hate them. Kalkbrenner back. Liam McNeely out. Brandon Miller still out. Grant Williams still out. Josh Green still out. Tijan Salon still terrible. Alrighty. Looking at a starting lineup of Ball, Sion James, Knipple, Bridges, Kalkbrenner. So let's go ahead and get these guys projected. So we got 27 minutes out of LaMelo in his return. That game went to OT and he didn't play in it. So at the very least, he was in some way limited. He's here today. I'm going to go to 30. I don't have a great feel there. Realistically, he could play upwards of 36 minutes today. Sion James at like 29 seems to make some sense. Con Knipple at 34 is easy. Miles Bridges at 36 is easy. And Ryan Kalkbrenner at 27 is easy. I think like something around 26 for Colin Sexton makes a ton of sense. $23 for Diabate. 24 for Trey Mann. We only need 11 more minutes. So that's something in the KJ Simpson, Mason Plumlee, Pat Connaughton group. So we're going to do 3 to Mason Plumlee, 4 and 4 to Simpson and Connaughton. I am not expecting to like anything here. Doesn't strike me as a team that's going to be drowning in value when we look at it. Similar for Toronto. I can't imagine I like much here unless there's just broken pricing. LaMelo's 9,800. Like, that just seems impossible today. 8,800 for Miles Bridges. 8,500 for Scotty Barnes. There's no value here. Mamu's 3,800. Nah, I'm good. Look at, I mean, there's no, we have 2 guys projected for 5x value. That's Mamu and BI. Now, I haven't done like rate adjustments here, but it's not like I'm going to rate adjust one of these guys into being good. It's probably one of the more unappealing games on the slate. I expect when I put up projections and ownership that these guys have very little of it. We continue on. Dallas and Minnesota. So Dallas beat Portland last night by 5. And then second half of the back-to-back, they are 14.5-point underdogs today. 229 total. For Minnesota, they lost to Denver on Saturday. Dallas today. And they get the Wizards on Wednesday. So it's a nice little get-right week for Minnesota coming off that loss to the Nuggets. Should be a really nice situation for them to beat the piss out of Dallas and Washington. Make themselves feel a little bit better. That's what I would do, at least. DiVincenzo, Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, Gobert. Nothing crazy. Terrence Shannon, still out. This is going to be pretty easy to do. So we get Dante DiVincenzo. We'll put him in for 32. Ant for 35. Jaden McDaniels for 32. Julius Randle for 34. Rudy Gobert for 32. Easy stuff so far. Naz Reid playing a little bit better, or playing a little bit more as of late. We're going to give him 26 minutes. We're going to give Mike Conley 20. We're going to give Jalen Clark 16. 8 to Dillingham. 5 remaining crappy spillover minutes to Berger, Juzang, Leonard Miller. I do appreciate that Minnesota makes life easy. This is not a team that typically you have to worry about all that much when it comes to projecting their rotations. And that's always nice. Dallas, on the other hand, I assume looks awful today for like countless reasons. Oh, okay. They are... What's the deal with AD today? He's just not gonna play, right? There's no reason we should be expecting Anthony Davis to do anything. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's definitely out. Mavericks, Anthony Davis will be out for at least 7 to 10 days. That dropped last night at 6 o'clock. What a pussy. I don't mean that for real. I mean, he wants to play, but I'm just tired of talking about him. All right. So assuming that's the case, because we don't have a technical injury report for these guys since they're on the back-to-back. Brandon Williams, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. Still the strangest trade to you? You think that one's strange to you? I think that's a pretty universal opinion. All right, Brandon Williams. 30. 33 to Christie. I mean, realistically, it's 35 or 36 to Cooper Flagg. PJ Washington got back to his typical 35 minutes. Gafford playing more as of late. I'll go like 27 for Gafford. 17 to Lively. 25 to Clay. 26 to Najee Marshall. That does not leave me a lot of minutes for D'Angelo Russell, but I'm not going to take them from Lively. Everybody else seems correct. I don't like those minutes. I'd like to get... I mean, I guess realistically... Where are those minutes coming from? Because I'm under on most of these guys. I guess I'm 5 to the good on Max Christie. Can make that 32. Yeah, that's just going to have to be it for right now. I mean, I can't imagine we're going to like any of these guys, so I probably don't need to quibble. There's no way these guys look any good, right? Ant at 9,100. I mean, I like Randall at 8,100 more. Cooper Flagg for 7,100 at shooting guard is not the worst price tag given where we're at, but bad matchup. I think PJ Washington at small forward, 6,900, probably a little underrepresented. Gobert looks fine. $5,400 Gafford looks pretty good. I like this game more than I thought I would. Interesting. Brandon Williams, Daniel Gafford, Gobert. I mean, even a little bit of Flagg, Washington, Christie. This is better than it seems. This is better than it seems. Cautiously optimistic about Dallas and Minnesota here. Final game of the main slate. Oklahoma City and the Pels. Oklahoma City had the Hornets on Saturday. Dispatched them with little effort. They've got the Pels today. They've got the Kings at home on Wednesday. This is a great stretch of games for Oklahoma City. Oh boy. They are 17.5 point favorites today, 226 total. In case you're curious, that's a big spread. All right. Still no Aaron Wiggins, J-Dub, Kenrich. Caruso's questionable. This should be pretty easy. Oh my God. This is such a great start or stretch for OKC, man. Are they still whatever and 1? 13-1. If the season ended today, the Bulls would be out of the playoffs. They've lost 5 straight. Hawks have won 5 straight. No Trae Young. The Wizards have lost 11 straight. Good for them. All right. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going 33, but like realistically, that might be too high. Lou Dort played 22 last time out in the start. Sure. Oh my God, these guys are just going to beat the piss out of them. Ugh. It's crazy. They might not even play Caruso today. Why would they? Just sit this dude. You got a billion bodies and you play the Pels. Alex Caruso gets a night off in New Orleans tonight. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be real pissed about it. I don't expect him to play today, but maybe he does. This just feels like a spot where he just goes, eats some gumbo, calls it a day. That's what I would do. Travis, they're not on a back-to-back. But if he's questionable and they're not on a back-to-back, I don't know why the hell he would play. Not in this spot. 2 touchdown favorites. Strikes me as unnecessary. Now I'm sure he'll probably be like the guy you need tonight. All right, let's go to the Pels side. Pels are on the back-to-back. Lost to the Warriors by almost 20 last night. They've got the... Oh, this is pretty much the opposite experience for the Pels. They go Warriors, Thunder, Nuggets. Yikes. Yikes. All right, so we don't know the current injury report. But are we going to get Zion today? Oh yeah, I forgot they fired Willie Green. The Pels would not be kind of nice with Zion, Murray, and Poole, Trevor. What are you talking about? Are you aware of 2 of the names that you just typed? One of those names is not like the other. All right, well, I guess we're going to assume Zion is just in for right now until we find out that he's not. Pels would be kind of nice with Zion, Murray, and Poole. Craziness. Okay, let's think about this. Fears. 29 minutes. Trey Murphy as a 4th option. They're not gonna stop a soul, man. You can't play Jordan Poole and DeJounte Murray. They're gonna get beat like a drum. With a terrible team. Yeah, they'll score. They're going to give up 180. What's Zion going to play? 27 minutes? Whatever. This team's garbage, man. True full stop piles of trash. All right, so Eve Meesy's just playing now. Is that it? Whatever. Stupid team. What is this? I mean, are they even going to be in New Orleans in like 2 years? Or are they just going to get shipped out to be a new team somewhere else? Because that's probably what should happen at this point. Josh is not rattled by anything at 8:52 a.m. I'm nervous to see if we like anything here. I hope that we don't. SGA's 10-8. Now, obviously, he could give these guys the business. Probably not going to play a ton. 8,700 for Zion. I can't even imagine it. $6,800 for Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, Chet and Hartenstein are in a great spot. I just don't know how much they need them. I'll continue to be more interested in Fears than most. $4,100 Jalen Williams with a Y. Is there any reason you're telling me that Jones and Fears are in? I don't think that's information anyone needs. Cason Wallace is fine. Queen is fine. It's just a lot of fine stuff. I don't think this is going to be a particularly popular game either. Honestly, I mean, it's never going to happen, but the Jazz really need to trade this name back to the Pelicans. The problem is the Pelicans shouldn't exist as a basketball team, and that's where it gets tricky. But they should be the New Orleans Jazz, and the Utah Jazz should be the Utah something else that they're known for. The Utah Bed Shakers or something. I don't know. Just spitballing. We still have one more game to look at. Bulls Nuggets. 9 p.m. start. Not on the DraftKings slate. Bulls lost by 3 to Utah on a back-to-back. 150 to 147. And now they get Denver today. And then they get Portland on Wednesday. Not an ideal 3 and 4 for Chicago when you dump one to Utah out of the gate. So let's get Josh Giddey back up there. Kobe White played, right? Yeah. All right. So there's no way Kobe White's playing today, I would imagine. So this is just going to look like normal Bulls, right? Giddey, Herter, Okoro, Buzelis, Vooch. I can't imagine Kobe White's playing today. You don't come back this late into the season and then dive into a back-to-back. How's my cup bet looking? It was looking a lot better after they won their first one. It's not looking as good now. All right, let me move these positions around. Okay, we're good. Let's project the Bulls, assuming no Kobe White. Coach Chris, yeah, I didn't look. That's powers of deduction, you know? All right, Herter. Yeah, that's a 30 if I ever saw one. Okoro. Buzelis, Vooch, Desunmu, Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams. Oh, this is cake. Oh shit, Trey Jones. Yeah, it's going to have to be something like that. Not that I care too much about this game, but that'll be close enough. Bulls and Nuggies. Nuggies coming off that Minnesota win. They've got Bulls, then Pels. This team's a mess right now. Christian Brown's going to be out for an extended amount of time. For those that didn't see. Expect Tim Hardaway Jr. to, I don't want to say thrive in that spot. Oh, maybe I was going to say this would be good for Cam Johnson, but it's probably bad for Cam Johnson. All right, let's handle these minutes. Jamal Murray for 36. Actually, Jamal Murray for 35. Tim Hardaway Jr. for 29. Cam Johnson for 28. 27. 31 for AG. 35 for Jokic. Bruce Brown is getting them minutes now. Let's get him to 27. Peyton Watson to 22. Apparently Spencer Jones is playing. All about the Joneses. That actually could just be a Cam Johnson issue. So let's get Joe Val in for 13. Let's get Julian Strother in for 8. And then let's get Spencer Jones for 13. Huzzah. Go Nuggies. DNP, 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 Fringe. 8 games up, 8 games down, and we did it in an hour. That's not too bad. Anything you guys want me to take a look at? Because we got a bunch of time, and if we want to dig into anything, we can. At this point, I think it would probably be helpful to tell you guys to... Where the hell is that? Download Tails, everybody. We're posting sports betting picks, pick'em cards, DFS content to Tails. This is totally free, by the way. It's at OddsShopper.com. But you can download the Tails specific app to your phone. Follow along with, me, Greg, Laffy, Ben, Eric. Follow all these guys and more. Hundreds of people on Tails. You can follow for more content. Find the people that you like. If you do download the app, if you could leave us a review and a rating, it would be incredibly helpful for us. That helps us out a big amount. So if you can do that, that would be great. And I want you guys to do that. There's plenty of content on Tails for you, and it doesn't cost you anything. So if you're looking for more in the sports realm, at the very least, I think you should be interested in Tails. Let's see if we've got anything up there right now. This is typically a time where friend of the program, Greg Ehrenberg, has probably put out a bunch of bets. Let's see what's out from our crew. Jake's dropping hockey bets, that's for sure. So if you're on the hunt for anything NHL related, don't be afraid to check that out. But if you're just looking for bets, you can go to the picks feed, explore it. You want just NBA? This will be anybody that's posted anything. Trending, moving forward to the top. So you'll get the best stuff as quickly as possible if you can. And you could do this for every individual sport. Whether you're looking for NBA-specific bets, NFL-specific bets, if you're looking for college football or college basketball over the weekends, you could do that as well. We've got leaderboards if you're looking to find who's been the best at X, Y, or Z. You can go to the leaderboard and find out. Most profitable people over certain chunks of time. People that have hit biggest long shot bets. Moneyball metrics hit a 14-1. It's all here for you guys if you want it. Can we look at the OKC bench in case of blowout? Anyone relevant? No. No one's relevant. We got to stop thinking we should play bench people because of blowouts. Like you want to play Usman Jang because they win by 40? No, nobody on OKC benefits from a blowout. They're going to play Chris Youngblood, Brooks Barnheiser, Usman Jang, Brandon Carlson. I guess somebody has to play. Probably AJ Mitchell. So if there's a blowout, AJ Mitchell, I guess, is the only person that matters. Best I could tell. But yeah, we gotta... Blowouts aren't things we want to look for or plan for like that. If Oklahoma City blows out the Pelicans, it's probably because the Pelicans scored 84 points. We got to remember, blowouts go both ways. You can blow someone out because your offense is good, or you can blow somebody out because their offense isn't. And if the Thunder just have a normal day, they could win by 25 defensively, and that blowout is not something you're trying to run down. It's the exact opposite, something you're trying to run away from. We got a lot to do today. I've got a strategy show VOD to record for you guys after this. We'll walk through the boom bust tool, give out the best plays. I've got a starting 5 to put out shortly. Perfect lineup with Laffy for Monday Night Football is going to be coming out in a bit. Reminder, NFL strategy show coming up in an hour. I think we've exhausted everything for today. Let's look at the schedule for the rest of the week. So tomorrow, we've got 6 games. I don't know what the slate's going to look like because it's 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10:30, and 11. So, I mean, realistically, I hope it's all just one big 6-gamer on DraftKings because I think that could be a pretty nice late swap opportunity. That's also a death slate for us East Coasters. Wednesday, we got a big one. 2, 4, 6, 9 game slate on Wednesday. At the very least, it'll be 7 on DraftKings. It could be 8. And then Thursday, starting Thursday morning, these shows will be taking place from a different location for me for the better part of the next week and a half. Actually, from Wednesday's deeper dive on, I won't be home. Working vacay from Wednesday till the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So this Thursday, 4 games. A 7 o'clock tip, 3 8 o'clocks. That'll be a sprint. And then Friday, NBA Cup, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 gamer. Spread out through the whole night. That'll be a fun one to break down. Not a lot of good games there, though. Denver, Houston will be fun. The rest of that is pretty awful. That'll be the rest of our week. We're going to talk a lot of basketball. I got a lot of things planned for the week. But for today, I think we've exhausted everything. We got to wait on some of these injury reports. And then, realistically, I think we know where we stand. It's stupid DeAndre Hunter value. It's stupid Bogdan Bogdanovic value. And then we wait. But for now, I'm going to dip, folks. That's going to do it. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Tomorrow, bring your grinding caps. We're going to put in a shift tomorrow. We're going the full 2. Deep dives all around. But now, pay attention. I got a lot of content to put out. You